It's how your mind will block out things in order for you to focus and stay sane.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Cindy with an S, and on this channel we explore lifestyle, wellness and beauty content because a soft life sometimes means pursuing meaningful work, feeding your creativity and learning how to build a life that feels intentional and sustainable. In today's video, I'm taking you along with me to a few events centered around design, creativity and the business behind beautiful spaces. We'll be talking about everything from creative burnout and career growth to luxury interiors and thoughtful design. If that sounds like your kind of content, please don't forget to like this video, comment and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Now let's get into the video.
I had this cool top on. I was like, what? What happened? My mind opened to that and I saw more of that. That's why your positive talk. What do you want to see more of? Your brain is like a genie. It goes, yeah, okay, you want to see more of. All right? So watch your self-talk. Watch your environment, who you hang around with. And if you are around people that breathe through the nose, when you breathe through the mouth, they go, oh, there's a line, run. Okay? But if you breathe through the nose, it's to calm down. Understand what kind of mindset you have, right? This will help you so much in that creative block. If you can read this book by Carol Dweck, it's really good, is do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? Okay, so let's look at a fixed mindset. See if you've got these people in your office, okay? They avoid challenges, they shy away from things they don't know, they carry out any actions without seeking approval, focused on proving yourself, threatened by the success of others, effort is not regarded as fruitful, understanding failure as a limit of ability, gives up easily. But what does a growth mindset person look like? And this is what we need to become in order to be activated with our prefrontal cortex and to deliver, right? View challenges as opportunities. Acknowledge and embrace your weaknesses. Learn to give and receive constructive criticism. Intelligence and talent is a dynamic and ever improving. Prioritize learning over seeking approval. Focus on the process instead of the end result. Be inspired by the success of others. Think of learning as brain training. Understand failure as an opportunity to grow and persist in the face of setbacks.
Amen.
Done. Right? So, thank you. So I just wanted to share that because in the workplace, even on your own, this is a real thing. Self-talk, problem solving, persistence, organization, attention, that's all happening here. So this is kind of what sets us apart from animals. It's what sets us apart from just being humans, is that prefrontal cortex. And it's the most important part of your brain. And if you're not engaging with that part of your brain, we have problems.
After those insightful conversations around the business of creativity, our next stop takes us into a more immersive design experience. We're heading to Planet World for an exclusive collaborative showcase featuring the latest in luxury interiors and premium audio solutions. What I loved about this event was how it highlighted the relationship between beauty and functionality, how thoughtful design doesn't just look good, it completely transforms the way we experience a space. Let's take a look. From luxury interiors, we shift into something equally important, the future of the design industry. This next event, hosted by the African Institute of the Interior Design Professionals, was held at the University of Johannesburg and focused on preparing third-year interior design students for the realities of professional practice. I really appreciated how honest these conversations were, because while creativity is beautiful, building a sustainable creative career also requires practical knowledge, resilience, and mentorship.
We spent many long nights rendering on Ribbon 9.
Jeez. Tells you how long ago that was, and it just shows you the level of experience that's in the house today. My first question, and I think it's more beginning to start this journey to go into interior design, and what has that journey been, and just document quickly a summary from where you started to where you are now. I think let's start with Mbali.
Greetings everyone. So I'm another shy one, so I'm actually quite nervous today. So my journey actually began in a very weird way. I was a little girl looking through, so when Mom was saying, oh no, we should move, homes, I was the one to literally go through the newspaper and look for the places that we stay. So already I had, what the requirements of the basic, fit would actually look like. And I'd actually say that was the start of me actually having quite the interest in homes and spaces. So many years later, and it was time to decide what I would do for the rest of my life. And it was very easy. Interior designing was it because I love creating, and spaces and me are just like two peas of wood. So, excuse me, I just have nervous, right? So
I think let's start at the beginning. Doing brilliantly. I just want to get to the juicy stuff, like how did we get here? How did we get to this? But let's get a lovely intro.
So, essentially, I dabbled in a bit of internships, and eventually that made me realize that I wanted to do my own thing. I found myself having this thing every time I'd be working, interning somewhere, that was just like, take a leap of faith, take a leap of faith. And I prayed about it for a whole year before taking that leap of faith, and eventually registered a business, and I said, okay, God, you said I should take the leap of faith, come bring the projects, let's see all of that coming through. So yeah, essentially that's how it looked.
Good morning everyone, how are you? It's so good to be back in this space after so many years. So it's actually a full circle moment. I graduated in 2009, I'm getting a bit of age now. And I was one of the first students when we first moved to this campus. I was with Tamara. We started with Tech Ponty when it was still Tech, and then we transitioned to UJ. So my journey is actually, I'm happy to be here to see, this is where we're at now. My journey has been an interesting one, I'd say. How I got introduced to interior design. I always knew that I didn't want a typical office job. My parents, my dad had been a lawyer or a doctor. I don't do blood, and I mean I'm a good arguer, but every day. And then in about 2004, I read a True Love article, and they had done a profile on Black female interior designers. And I saw this young 20-something Tabise Darbubo, and she was just doing the most. And I looked at her and I said, that's what I want to do. And we also had this, this little TV show, you may have heard of it, Top Billing. And every week I was just like, Mama, I'm going to be on Top Billing and do those houses and live that life. so lavish, it feels so lush. And it was like, how cool would it be to create every single day? And that's what got me inspired. So it was either this or real estate, just because I knew I wanted to be in beautiful spaces, and I knew that I wanted to have a pulse on what makes that beautiful space a space.
Le nom Kabwassa vient de l'Afrique centrale, Kikwit, Congo. Et j'ai demandé à ma grand-mère qu'est-ce que ça veut dire. Elle m'a dit
What you mean, what you mean, what you mean? I get it popping like a sugar snake.
And then I might use like a lot of jargon that you go, I don't know what to say, and I don't know where it is, and I've got Ken and it is my brain. Just bear with me till the end, okay? It's all going to make sense. I've never seen my slides so big before. That's like, wow, that's really good. Okay, so if you can see just above that red line and below the green is like an orange line, that we can perceive as a relaxed physiological state, right? That is where you are thriving. That is where you are achieving optimal results. But if you're in chronic stress or any stress, so say for instance you're in a relaxed physiological state and all you're doing is avoiding dysfunction or being stressful, that's a problem. And then if you move down, it will eventually impact your system. It will impact your body. Read what's happening in your body. When online learning came about, they thought, oh, online learning, and some of the schools were like, we're off online learning. Okay, a lot of people can't do that because you need the executive functioning to concentrate, to self-manage, to do the work yourself. So be aware of this and start developing this because this is what you're going to need in the workplace. It's what you need now, right? I watched a video the other day of a lady that didn't have her arms, but she had found a way to do her hair, do makeup. I was like, wow. What is your potential? Think about that. And I want you to put a percentage in there. When you were born, what is your potential as a human being?
And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what part resonated with you most. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
One eternity later.
You just broke my head and now you want to play?